Hey everybody, welcome back to Muramasa the Demon's Blade. This is the first ending for Miike Okoi.
Is it? Is it really?
Yes.
I'll take your word for it. Also, I'm still here. Hi, everyone.
Hello, welcome Shigatsu back. This is gonna be a stark departure from what we saw before. Like, before we had really weird shit, we had raccoons playing fun tunes on their bellies. It was just all fun games and weird shit. Now it's just back to the plot at hand, as in we're gonna fucking kill people.
Oh, good. I was wondering when the murder would return.
Oh, it's gonna come full pretty soon. And now we get to listen to some pretty good jams for this build-up.
Oh, I'm liking this.
I don't like this fight. You haven't seen a lot of the LP still, I'm guessing, but these white ninjas are the fucking worst, and there's 6 of them.
Well, I mean, it looks like they've got a couple tricks up their sleeves here.
They have every ninja attack, 2 of them giving them complete invincibility.
Oh, ew.
Yeah.
I saw bombs earlier.
You don't see them in Okoi's story, but they also have the, not Kamitachi, Kusarigama.
I am not sure what that is.
It's the ninja weapon where one end is like a handheld sight, the other one's like a chain on a weight on a chain.
Oh, lordy.
And those things suck because you can't approach a ninja when they're swinging that. They will do like 5 damage, but the thing is they'll put you in fierce hit stun.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, that's good. No, just leave it in. Who cares? We're professional.
Oh, what happened?
Did you get a phone call or something?
I must have, because... See, what happened is I recorded all of the footage during, I just recorded all the DLC footage at once, and then I edited it, but I think I must have missed something here?
Now, clearly, this was left in deliberately as a chance
there we
for us
go.
to banter. See? There we are.
But yeah,
Good. Excellent.
the mission buildup is basically going to be the same as the main game, where you enter a mission area and then you fight your way to the boss at hand to get your cutscene. However, the scaling is a little bit nuts here, being I'm level 15 and I have to deal with a lot of enemies with really fast movesets.
Yeah. Oh, I see the weapon you mentioned earlier that I can't remember.
Yeah,
Something
the chain
Gamma.
gang.
Yes. Oh, smoke bombs too. Nice.
Mm-hmm. The smoke bomb is the worst because the moment they start it and it doesn't look like they're starting it, they have invincibility, so you'll do like 3 attacks and they're like, wait, why am I not hitting? Oh, asshole.
Alright, professional menuing, always good.
Yeah, it's quick menuing, gotta level up. I got souls to operate with. Right now I'm trying to balance the, attack power of both the human and cat form, just because you really need... You need to have it balanced, because the boss has the capacity to break your, weapon.
Oh.
I don't really want to call it weapon, because it's more like a fight mode.
Gotcha.
Yeah, alongside Master Ninjas, we're also fighting the Tangu variants that have a really big air slash attack that could just fuck you up royal.
Oh, and it looks like status effects?
Yeah, one of the 2 status effects in this game. They could also poison you.
Oh. I would not have guessed poison from that, but...
Poison's a fucking joke, though, so it's nothing to worry about.
Alright.
Like, there are only 2 status effects in the game. Both of them are DOTs and nothing really to worry about. Just eat a rice ball and you're done.
I could go for a rice ball right about now, actually.
That's like the one thing I don't eat out of all the Asian food I like.
Huh.
Now, an interesting thing about the DLC is that they ramp up your soul gain by a lot. You don't see it much in Okoi's story, but in the other DLCs you'll see rooms in the final dungeon that just give you a wealth of souls to play with to compensate for the the rapid growth that you have of enemies you have to deal with.
Okay, because I vaguely remember you mentioning toward the start that the soul gain was pretty low, which is why you really needed to be sparing with your skill choice.
Yeah. If you're just playing for the first endings, souls are really hard to come by until the final dungeon, where they kind of give them to you in quite generous amounts. Now I don't know if I still have this problem because it's been like what, a full 2 weeks since we last recorded. I don't know if I have any healing supplies on Okoi.
Oh dear. I'm sure we'll be fine though, right?
I'm getting by on a level up and a prayer.
That sounds oddly motivational.
Yeah, kinda. Just put that on an image with a black border. It's 2007 again.
I'll oh god, the demotivators. I remember when those were all the rage in middle school.
When they were the hot memes.
Oh god, don't even joke.
Yeah, I think at this point, if I ever see rooms like this where I can escape, I just go. I'm not dealing with those. Okay, so I have some healing items, but that one's not good. I think it's like 150 HP.
Mm-hmm. And I take it the fullness thing is like a cooldown on healing items?
Basically.
Oh, and now there's more Tangu. Good.
These ones aren't as bad. They're not as aggressive as the red ones, but there's more of them. I really should just use Monster Cat form here and trivialize it, but...
I do like the color scheme on them, though. Very, very pretty.
Yeah, Vanillaware really likes their artists. They have a lot of artists, and they're all just... They know what looks good to people, which is why you see very lush and beautiful environments, along with good character designs. Also, an arbitrarily dark area in this forest.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised there wasn't an encounter there.
I do like how they mess with the tile sets a little bit, because it does... like, when you first see them, it's really nice, because it does... While you're aware that it's just a recolor, it does kind of mix things up. And also does set the atmosphere for what you're doing. Like, what was it? The first 2 chapters where you were in a, you were just in a normal-looking Japanese city. That is basically just a recolor of the big cities from the main game, but it still, you know, sets the tone for everything.
Right. It kind of provides that context while also not just being a flat reusing of assets.
Yeah. Also, here I actually do have a good healing item. Roasted Yam is 600 HP. Also, Toad Oil restores any status effect, and I have like 4 of those.
Any status? Weren't there only like 2? Wait.
Yeah, any status effect.
Okay, good. That's helpful.
I do kind of wish they did more with status effects, honestly, because it does feel like status effects in a beat 'em ups is kind of odd, but I still wish they did. Oh, ow! I wish they did more with it, because this game does feel a little bit like a light JRPG, and I wish there was more to play with. Like there would be stuff like Confusion and oh, what's another good one? Confusion and Mute would probably be good for this kind of game. Mute especially, since if you don't have access to your sword arts, you're kind of in a bind. Also, I missed a room that we will be going back to momentarily.
Was that intentional to show? What on earth?
Yeah, we haven't seen these through Okoi's story, but these are a thing called Woolly Eyeballs. It's basically a, it's kind of a mini-game encounter. It's a circumstance of, do you have Quick Draw? If so, you get free XP. If you don't, kill everything and get a Quick Draw. It's really nice because it also provides a wealth of souls. But yeah, it's not really ooh, wow, I actually landed that skill. I never do that. Like, I'm dead serious, I never land that air cyclone skill. It's so hard to control.
Well, we're all proud of you.
Yay. I think about this point I realize I missed a spot.
As you're immediately surrounded by ninjas.
Yes. Also,
oh, good.
Interesting note, my my monster cat form is actually my weakest form right now.
You should probably fix that.
Yeah, maybe. I say weakest as I just, I take no damage and just do a billion hits. Well, 65, but still.
Same difference, 1,065,000,065, they're like right next to each other on the number line.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very expansive forest.
Yeah, it's actually a surprisingly large area.
Yes.
Here we get the final vitality accessory for this storyline, at least. In the main stories, if you don't do the post-game, you're only going to get 3 gauntlets and 3 belts for accessories. If you go into the post-game you get literally everything from the main game, because it's just the main game again.
Oh. Well then.
I mean, it's fun. I imagine they did that just because they made these characters. They put a lot of effort into it, and a lot of the characters are fun to fight with. So I do like the fact that they gave us the chance to replay the game again, just because it allows us to have more fun with some of the characters that we bought.
Makes sense.
Also, this is the room I forgot a while ago. Quick transition.
Now, what was our prize?
The strength gauntlet.
More accessories. Goody.
We actually kind of want that because it's a good boost in power.
Oh, yeah. Alright.
And I wanted to leave, but these samurai just wouldn't let me have that.
So of course, we immediately murder the shit out of them, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, not immediately, just because Okoi has a really hard time breaking swords if you don't have quick draw or refuse to use Monster Cat.
Is there a reason you're not using Monster Cat, or is that simply because
I think it's the
Okoi's human form is stronger?
I think it's the elixir mindset of I'm gonna need it later. Somebody else had a different terminology for it. I forget what it... I think Jadestar had a terminology for it in his XCOM LPs, but I don't remember what he called it. I just call it the elixir paradox.
Of course. I'll need this later, so I won't use it, and then you never use it.
Yeah, I won't need this later. I'll need this later in the final boss battle.
Yep. Well, I mean, post-game.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, luckily these umbrella dudes are just a joke now at this point.
Man, I can't get over how beautiful this game really is.
It is. Everything is hand-drawn and it's wonderful.
I mean, it really shows how much love and effort went into this game.
Yeah, because this was one of the 2 projects that would get Vanillaware out of its crippling debt. Also, this is a nice little transition of things. We go from a lush, verdant bamboo forest to death.
Oh, goody. Oh, the Flames of Resentment. I think I've listened to that band before.
I wouldn't know. I'm a caveman when it comes to culture. Now, an interesting thing about this enemy, they were designed with the main cast in mind, as in their attack range limitations. And, for all the DLC characters, they all have more than enough range to straight up just attack those ghosts without having to play Dead Man's Volley.
I've never heard it called that, but I was going to ask if that was a Ganondorf fight.
Yeah. You've never heard that? You never? I've always heard that Ganondorf's main gimmick called the Dead Man Volley.
I mean, I take your word for it.
Maybe it's just different. Maybe it's just like different playground terminologies. Who knows?
Perhaps.
My dad works at Nintendo, after all.
Oh.
I'm just mainly getting prepared here.
Why would you do that? That's silly.
Because, I've beaten this DLC before. I've played it a lot. When recording this particular session, the boss beat me 5 times because he has a move that's not an insta-gib, but if you get hit in it, you're pretty fucking dead. Because it's like several hits that you can't escape from. Hello, Wakamiya. So, someone in the thread called me out. I was indeed pronouncing it wrong. His name is Wakamiya.
Oh, were you? I didn't even notice.
I didn't notice either, which is kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, well. Oh, his face is like the embodiment of smug.
Well, all my plans have come together. Nothing could possibly go wrong. Yeah, I'm gonna warn you all though, there is a point in this cutscene that gets a little creepy.
Man, I'm in the Valhalla LP, there's nothing that can creep me out at this point.
It's more of like a skeezy moment rather than the weird moment we showed last time. Don't worry though, it's not fully actualized. It's just uncomfortable.
Luckily, uncomfortable is my natural state of being, so...
That's the secret. I'm always uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Just imagine this really worried-looking Hulk, colored blue.
The incredibly uncomfortable Hulk.
Oh, man, if someone wants to do fan art, please.
Oh no.
That is wonderful. Now, for the next bit of cutscenes, we play as not Wakamiya, shit. I forgot his name!
It was just, it started with an S.
Oh,
something.
Shigematsu, thank you.
There.
So, while we were panicking and I was freaking out, I was gonna mention that Shigematsu doesn't have a lot of animations. If you ever press up or down, he just resets his stance, so you could just make him stand still. And yeah, the student here regrets that, quote-unquote, Okoi is giving herself up to Wakamiya.
I can't tell if that's the garments or just, like, something about that posture just looks really weird.
Shigematsu's?
Yeah.
He's a little bit fluffed up, mainly to give him presence. It's a stylistic choice. But yeah, I like this bit of cutscenes a lot, because it really feels like you're building up to a boss fight, but in the opposite direction.
Can we not?
They're gonna. Okoi has her reasons.
I was going to make a pussy joke, but I'm going to refrain.
Dude, it's been like a day. I can't find a hidden man in a day. Yeah, one of the interesting design bits in the DLCs is that a lot of the more noble roles have kind of like a puffed up look to it to give them more presence, you know?
Yeah, they also seem to pulsate.
That's kind of normal to infer breathing, but like in general they seem a lot larger than they are because it's supposed to give that air of nobility because it's assuming we're viewing it from the eyes of the common folk.
Of course. Now that makes a lot of sense. It's just I don't know. It's a neat animation, but something about the rolling of the shoulders while they pulsate.
It's no, it's not tweening. I was gonna say it's basically called. It's a technique from Flash animation called tweening, but I don't think Muramasa does that. Because if there was tweening, it's a very obvious thing. You would see seams in the animation.
Right.
Every time I see this scene, I'm just like, maybe should have not.
Oh. Oh, okay. Oh.
I mean...
Oh, I know you can't see, but I'm like cringing backward in my chair.
Yeah, like, if there was one thing I had to criticize, it's this scene in particular, but luckily...
It's something about the hands that really...
So you remember how I said this is like approaching a boss fight, but in reverse?
Are we going to fight the cat as Shigematsu?
No, we are still Okoi, but we are going to be fighting Shigematsu. But you were basically walking. This is basically like a boss fight, except you're the boss.
Woo!
It even has that little scene like in the main game where everybody's just like, I will crush your blade and eat your soul, but it's you.
I don't know how to feel about this. Are we the bad guy all along?
Who knows? Revenge is a very complicated thing. As for the boss fight itself, not that great, but listen to this music.
Oh, this is rockin'.
Yeah, I really like the Shigatsu boss fight music.
Monster Cat seems a little OP for this fight.
Yeah, it could be better, but you have to charge it up. That's the trade-off for it. But yeah, I call this Shigatsu boss fight disappointing because it's just a samurai again.
Just a unique samurai.
He has different movesets, like he has extensions to all his attacks, but at its core, it's just a samurai again.
Oh, that is a little disappointing.
And they will do another thing that makes it a little bit more... Really? Here's one of its trademark attacks, though. That really fucking hurts.
Ooh.
Yeah, here's the other part that disappoints. He, summons more samurai. So this is just a samurai beatdown. I can see it kind of being satisfying because you're just killing a lot of samurai en masse, but really I'm just kind of like, there's no real variety here. A lot of the other DLCs are way better about this. It's sad to see that Okoi's plot just kind of ends on such a, on a repetitive situation. But at least the music is kicking rad.
It is spectacular music, but yeah, I can see... Oh, hello.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, he does have shadow clones that will do his attacks.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did he just shoot energy from his sword?
Mm-hmm. He has a Muramasa blade. That means it has otherworldly energies.
Ah, of course. How could I have forgotten?
Which is why he could also do that anime slash too.
Wonderful.
And if it wasn't
is that
bad
also
enough,
why
he does it again.
Is that also why it regenerates itself?
Yes, actually. If you watch the LP, they explain it in both Kisuke and Momohime's plot. If you sheath the Muramasa blade, it will feast on the blood it's drawn and eventually regenerate itself back to a keen blade.
That's metal as fuck, dude. I'm not even gonna... No mincing words here. If I watch the LP... Look, man, I just started a new job, alright? I'm sorry I haven't watched the LP yet.
I'm not excusing you, I'm just mentioning once you get to it, everything will be explained.
Patience, my child.
And yeah, you saw how much that did. I went from 900 to 200.
So I take it that was the attack you mentioned earlier, where it's not quite an insta-jib, but if you get hit, you're basically...
No!
No? There's more?
Once he gets into red mode, he gets even more skills. But yeah, I'm actually really sloppy in this fight just because he has super armor in a sense. He still takes damage, but he doesn't flinch as often.
Gotcha.
And much like how you have a quick draw upon switching weapons, he has one too. That move sucks.
Oh, jeez.
So that stab is really interesting. I don't think I get it in this recording, but if you're in cat mode, he cannot hit you with that move.
Huh. Is that just like a hitbox thing, or...?
I don't know if it's intended or not, but you are too low to the ground for that to be hit. As for that skill, if you don't special attack through it, you get hit no matter what, and it does a lot of damage.
I mean, I can understand your slight disappointment in it being just another samurai, but he's got an impressive skill set. I was not expecting something
yeah, I think it's mainly
complex out of it.
I think it's mainly because I've done this game so much that it feels disappointing to me, so maybe my viewpoint is skewed. It is a fun fight when you first do it, just because of how aggressive Shigatsu is.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine after you fought thousands of samurai, it's like, oh, okay, the core mechanics are still the same.
I didn't get to show it off. He has a ground stab that causes a shockwave. And now the actual hard part of the fight. When he gets in red mode, he gets aggressive, and you never get to break his sword. But
Oh,
a lot of
dear.
his moves have cooldowns to where you could do damage on it. It's just a matter of dealing with his aggressive nature. Which is kind of why I kept Monster Cat mode until the last possible phase.
Makes sense.
I believe this is the move. It is the anime slash full screen.
I was gonna say the entire screen got dark. That's how you know it's serious time.
I got lucky there and didn't get caught by the entire wave.
Oh! Good job.
And that was Shigematsu.
Congratulations.
And now the wealth of ending cutscenes, because amusingly enough, Okoi has a lot of relevance in the main game.
Shigatsu. Okoiが無念を思い知ったか。色なく恐怖に
Now, Danzaburo did mention that if you did not have a philosophical revelation, you would go mad.
だが、我が恨みは未だ
Oh no.
それどころかどうじゃ。
Are we about to go insane? Are we gonna turn into a crazy cat demon?
こうなれば、若宮に組みしたる者、小物に至るまで。
Revenge is revenge is something never satisfied. I mean, just take a look at Metal Gear Solid 5.
A hatred to surpass Metal Gear.
I love the look of these two guys' face. Look at the dude.
Oh my god! The eyes on the dude in the right are, he's got to see a doctor or something. Look at that.
That is the look of a man who has seen terror incarnate. This is looking at a guy that's like, nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong.
Between the gaunt cheeks on the guy on the left and those bulging eyes on the right, it's ugh.
The guy on the left is more worried about the dude than everything.
Yeah.
He's like, are you okay, sir? I find this use of words odds here. Shamans. I don't think Japan had shamans, technically. I mean, technically a shaman could be like a...
I was gonna say Shinto priest, maybe.
Probably. Localization uses... The localization of DLC uses really weird terminologies, and yes. Okoi has gone mad with power.
I see the name has changed to Monster Cat as well. Lovely.
Her logic kind of messes with me here. My grudge will not fade until 7 generations have suffered my curse, but you killed them. They can't make any more generations. So now we control Jinkoro. Since you haven't seen the LP, Jinkoro is the supporting cast member for Momohime.
He appears to have skipped leg day.
I made that same joke on his ending.
Did you really?
But yeah, for a kind of a Crib Notes version of the plot for the main game, Jinkoro is a man who seeks eternal life and unending ambition. He wants everything. He's even mastered a technique to steal the bodies of any human. He uses the technique to try to steal a famous samurai's body, steals Momohime's instead, and then by the end of the plot, he eventually manages to alter fate and actually enact his plan to where he stole the famous samurai's body. He gets the love of Momohime, he's traveled with throughout the whole game, and everything's fine. This actually takes place before all of that. Now, the main reason he sought eternal life is because he had a fatal illness.
Okay. I mean, that's as good a reason as any, I suppose.
Now, we also mentioned how nobody ever seems to see Miike's tails.
Yes.
I like Miike's plan here. It's really funny. She's a monster cat, but she... Ah.
You're saying localization is interesting.
I like that butt.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh.
Since Jinkoro is a samurai with a Muramasa blade as well, he could see that. For whatever reason, Shigematsu couldn't, but...
Did he just insult her disguising capabilities?
Yes. Jinkaro's a really good swordsman.
The jaw stretching part of that animation is a little unnerving.
I think it's mainly meant to simulate the artistic style that was used way back in the day.
I can understand it. Doesn't make it any less discomforting.
It's a monster.
You know, that's true. That's perfectly fair. The tongue wiggling is oddly enchanting, though. That's... Look at it go.
I feel like this is a thing, but I don't know what. 4 pains and 8 frustrations.
99 problems, but a cat ain't one.
Not anymore.
Oh right, I forgot about that debt thing. Or bounty thing, whatever it's called.
The tails, which ironically are right there.
Oh.
So as we saw at the beginning, if a Nekomata loses its tail, it loses its power.
That's right.
So as I mentioned before, this is way before the main events of Muramasa.
Is that how he acquired his fatal illness? Is the curse?
Yes.
Ah, see, I can put 2 and 2 together.
Now this is weird. This is a jump cut to way after the main plot of Momohime's story.
Huh.
Because that guy right there is actually the antagonist of Jinkaro, but he has a philosophical revelation at the end of Momohime's plot.
Interesting.
I also find it kind of funny about the background details because you see a persimmon on the trees and you see leaves burning on the ground to cook a yam, both of which are items in the main game.
Well, the yam I kind of figured. Persimmon I wouldn't have guessed.
Hi, Miike.
She's so cute, now that she isn't trying to murder everything.
Pretty much. The High Priest is so nice. It's funny.
Seems like a pretty chill dude.
But yeah, she's not Miike anymore, she's Suzu.
Ah.
I guess kind of as a way to symbolize her rebirth from a hate-filled monster to just being a cat again.
I mean, really, was there ever that much of a transition from cat to revengeful hellspawn to cat?
True. But yeah, now that she's become a regular cat, she's actually trying to have a philosophical turn.
Now that she's lost all of her power?
Well, who was it? Danzaburo said that Miike has been acting more and more like a human, so perhaps she feels regretful for her actions now? It's hard to say. I doubt a cat of such piousness would make mischief. Cue to every dead noble in that one city.
I mean, to be fair, that's not really mischief.
True.
More of a, you know, massacre.
Now this right here was a teaser for the next DLC.
Oh, okay.
The next DLC involves peasants, and these two actually become NPCs in that story.
Peasants?
Peasants,
Huh.
as in local farmers.
Well, yes, I'm aware of what the word means, Highway. Thank you.
Education.
Stolen towels? That's really...
Mm-hmm.
It's the driving impetus thus far.
今夜だぞさあ駆け立つの
So weird.
I just realized how strange it is to see the cat without a
I
tail.
was gonna say the same thing.
Oh, great minds think alike.
Look who's here.
Oh, hello, Satan Cat.
重松が一見よくぞ恨みを晴らしてくれた礼を言うじゃが王をなくしすっかり化けの力が失せたようじゃのう
I do find it really funny that Miike had the same exact impetus and fate as the wizened cat.
お変わりなく何よりです
Because, like, the wizened cat got her powers, desired revenge against Shigatsu, and then lost... I want to say her powers, but I'm not sure if it's a her. But lost their powers after trying to fight Shigematsu. And Miike had the same plot. She gained her power, she sought her revenge against Shigematsu, got it, but then lost her powers to Jinkaro, who then proceeded to curse Jinkaro. Basically, time flows like a river, etc.
宿場外れのお堂へおいでなさいませ
History repeats itself, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm. But it's not all too bad. At least Danzaburo's lessons got through.
遅いでねえかスズ人間にでも見つかったかどうもかくおめえがいねえと
Yes.
始まらねえ
What is going on?
Yes.
Cats don't move like that. Is not what cats do.
You don't know what cats do.
I mean, you're not wrong, but that
Tabby Cat makes me laugh so much just because of his voice.
he seems really into it.
師匠の言う通り確かにこればっかりはもうたまそれね
Good.
こうじゃねっこじゃっと踊らば踊れ
Cute little ending.
踊り明かそうぜ
This was her
Okay.
philosophical turn after suffering through so much. She finally realized that just having people she could pal around with is good enough.
That's adorable.
相模は戸塚の外れにある猫の踊り場と言われる場所では
The cat's
毎
ballroom.
夜猫が輪になって踊ったという不思議な言い伝えが残っています。その輪の中に世に恐れられた2匹の化け猫が混じっていたことはあなた以外もちろん誰も知らぬことでございます。この後綱釜では化け猫のたたりを恐れるあまり
Well, that's unfortunate.
が立ち退きその噂は後編に聞こえて結局のところ
I don't know about unfortunate.
断絶と
Well, it was corrupt, so nothing lost.
病魔の呪いを受けた
Yeah, this is basically them confirming, saying yes, this was why Jinkaro died due to health concerns.
Gotcha.
I thought that was a clever little ploy. Like, sure, it's DLC, but it still has relevance in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, it's a nice way to tie it in. I meant to speak more, but
It's a
the
good note.
narrator's voice is just so good.
And much like all the other stories, we get credits after this. However, about I want to say halfway through the credits, there's something unique for Miike.
Really now.
Because everybody gets a little bit of a unique backdrop for their characters. Both Momohime and Kisuke got a nice little design backdrop for their stories, and it's okay. But Miike gets something different once we actually lead into it. I like how they have to clarify that it's Danzaburo the raccoon, because Danzaburo is kind of a huge cultural figure.
Gotcha. Clerk. Night's Watch.
Tabby Cat gets his own credit.
They didn't give Tabby Cat a name?
No, he's just a Tabby Cat. He's a stray, so he doesn't have a name.
Oh, it apparently didn't name Wizencat either, so hey.
That's his title, Wizencat. I still love the allegory that Wizen Cat is riding because it fits so well.
I can see it.
Because even like, what was it in between Metal Gear Solid 4 and Rising, Raiden just gets a regular ass job and he's bored out of his mind, and that was the end fate of the Wizen Cat. He's like, revenge is done. I'm bored.
Yeah. Well, I ain't got shit to do now. Might as well go dance.
And for each of the DLCs, you hear a unique song, which is used in their main game. I believe for Okoi, she gets both her songs used.
Yeah, I've got to say, this might be one of the few times where I've really wanted to pick up the game that I've seen being LP'd.
It's a fun game. Like, the main catharsis of this game is actually playing it, which is why I would highly recommend anybody, if you got a Wii or a Vita, pick up this game. It's super fun.
It really looks it, but I mean, I think between the music and the art direction, you've completely sold me.
Nice. Good job, Vanillaware. I'll be expecting my check in the mail. Not really. Mainly, I'm just kind of curious of what Vanillaware is going to do with their latest game, because after they released Odin Sphere, they've got a new game in development, which is giant robot fighting, and I'm wondering how they're going to do this.
Really now?
Yes, it's called Aegis 13, I believe. And all they've shown so far is walk cycles and the main mech. So I'm curious, but also a little worried.
Somehow I think they'll pull it together quite nicely.
Yeah, they haven't really dropped the ball in any game. They've just had really bad marketing luck.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's right. I vaguely remember seeing, I think it was YouTube ads for Odin Sphere.
Now, for the credit sequence, you can walk along the Haunted Mansion.
Oh, awesome! I was in love with all the details during the fight, but I mean, I guess I can see how, you know, you might be a little distracted trying not to die when you're actually playing the game.
Mm-hmm. You can see all the neat little details while this goes on. It's pretty nice too, like you can see a spider in that little well there.
Yeah.
And there's the skull you were mentioning before.
The handprints, lovely. I'm still enamored with this entire set.
Yeah, I think it was such a good set piece that George Kamitani was like, you know what, give it to him in the credits. They probably haven't seen it.
Yeah. They'll appreciate the entirety of it.
I might be seeing things, but it looks like there's a silhouette of legs in that little shed that Miike is sleeping next to.
Nope, you're not seeing things. That's kind of terrifying. It looks like the feet are actually backwards as well.
Neat. I'm just looking for all these little details now, because even after doing this like twice, I haven't seen all of it.
So I do like the bits of the wallpaper falling off and then being reassembled.
There's a swinging thing in the background there. I'm pretty sure that's like, oh, what the hell's that chick's name from the ring? Sadako?
Something like that.
I'm pretty sure that's like a Sadako-esque yokai or something just hanging there.
Very well could be.
There's a lot more to show off, but I just like the image of a cat sleeping among all this nonsense.
Cat doesn't care. Cat's got beauty sleep to catch up on. That's right, you're planning on doing the Odin Sphere remake, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Lovely.
Which is amusing because as of this recording, I also started a Darkest Dungeon LP, so I got a lot of work ahead of me.
You're just gonna do everything, aren't you?
Nah, Darkest Dungeon was just something I did because fucking no one else was doing it.
Mr. Tiddles Esquire. I assume that's a cat.
Probably. The inspiration for Miike was Mr. Tiddles.
Esquire.
Esquire, yes. The end.
Woo!
Now, naturally, there is alternate endings, and they do tell you what to do here.
The Caves of Evil?
Those are basically challenge missions. You don't have to do them in the DLC, they're just there. But yes, to get the alternate ending, you have to beat every boss. That's why I have that top save file.
Hooray!
Next video, boss fight, the alternate endings.
Go team.